right as Vecina was coming back up. And we're going to move to a very different stage here, moving to the Fortress of Lions. Gonna still have that really high ceiling. Gonna have still some reasonably small sidewalls, but not as small as Demon Island. That could give Vecina a little bit more room to recover back over.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be enough for Taya here to go ahead and maybe fall a little bit more behind. Vecina, played a pretty decent game one. That down tick I thought would be more of a swing, but going into game two, I mean, Taya's getting confident enough to go for double ground.
Oh my gosh, again.
What is this? Oh, Vecina kind of giving that one away. Taya kind of getting a little bit too big for his britches there, I think, going for that double ground pound. Vecina could not punish it properly, so perhaps I'm just wrong.
We saw the weapon toss and then the dodge through after that, and then they just kind of kept going back in. And Vecina just ended up finding himself on the wrong side of that turn-based combat where, oh, it's my turn to ground pound, now it's your turn to ground pound, now it's my turn to ground pound. Vecina going back over the wall, hoping to retreat there. I mean, he does have to worry about the potential down air situation coming in from the spear, but it seems like Taya's not attempting that many extended edge guards where you're over there playing in the left and right space and in the vertical. Most of it is vertical with those ground pounds like we saw earlier. D-Light into the recovery. Not enough to KO, even with the help of that soft platform. The weapon toss pickup and the side light. He's going to be ready with that one. And again, it seems like they have similar ideas and they get into this turn-based system. And again, Taya is the one to come out on top. First it was the ground pounds on the right side. Now it was the side six back and forth. First it was Taya, then it was Vecina, and then it was Taya, and Taya's hit.
Yeah, no, it seemed to be quite difficult at this point for Vecina to go back into this game. That sider is going to be able to get that first stock, but you still have so much room to make up for at this point. Sitting in the back, you're like, dang, man, I really allowed this game to escape from me. So how are you going to go ahead and try to turn things around to see if maybe you don't go down in this set 0-2, because Taya is looking pristine at the moment.
Now, one of those things that I was also talking about with Stingray and Vondake back there was specifically with Priya related to, like, we don't feel like Chakram and Priya has that, like, explosive comeback potential to really take games when you're behind. We were also talking about Priya over on the main stage earlier with regards to Sandstorm versus Knees. I feel like Cannon absolutely has that, but also it feels like Orb has that a lot as well with how safe the kit can be, wait to punish landing, sidelight, Sair. So who knows, with both of them having their more quote-unquote explosive weapons, back-to-back inlights, control the weapon as well, not afraid to do that. Even the spot dodge, Vecina would have to go in off stage, unarmed at the weapon disadvantage. Taya still in complete control of the weapons. Here comes the sword, but the disarm is now on Taya's side of things. Vecina, he still has to be careful. He's going to play around on the weapon, but he gets neutral aired after the dodge came through for Taya to get through the neutral light of that sword. Here comes the orb. It's going to be like one punish landing. He goes for the big play, doesn't make a connection, gets punished instantly.
And I love the patience from
nice
Taya as
timing.
well. Could go for a more aggressive edge guard, but understanding that patience will have the knockout come to him, looking for that final blow, perhaps a side light Sair. I mean, you have that side sig's been really good. You read a jump, get a neutral sig as well on the spear, but instead throwing it away, but a reverse neutral air unarmed is going to be enough to secure that game number 2. I think things are looking a little bit rough here for Vecina. Taya looking just one cut above here. It's not so bad where it's like, dang, Vecina doesn't stand a chance, but it does seem very consistently Taya is just winning out these exchanges.
And I think that's largely due to the fact that Taya is playing Dusk here. It just seems like that legend that can get 2 and 3 hits here and there consistently over time, and all of that just builds up one after the other. Then all of a sudden, like, you don't need to hit the insane edge guard. You don't need to, like, hope for the double gauntlet neutral air to cheese over on the side right on that corner or anything like that. Like, you can just play Brawlhalla, man. You just gotta play simple, easy Brawlhalla. No, not easy. That's definitely the wrong word to describe it. Falling neutral air. Taya still unarmed here. Vecina doing his best to zone away, but he doesn't want to throw that sword away and strip the field and disarm himself, possibly, in case Taya comes in and grabs the weapon. There's the spear neutral air. Like, you can just subsist off of jumping and neutral airing. There you go. There's the recovery right after Vecina still throwing out these anchors. They are absolutely no longer successful for Vecina.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking a little bit rough here. Vecina getting caught yet again. Sidelight Sair. You can see Taya, kind of hunting a little bit with the positioning by not throwing out a hitbox, trying to make sure that when eventually that trigger is pulled, it's going to lead to the knockout. And that's exactly what we see. The patience pays out in spades. That side signature going ahead and securing that first knockout in convincing style.
And that's the really scary thing, is if you're playing Cannon, you want to be able to hit that, like, oh, I'm going to hit the side light, I'm going to get the dodge, then I'm going to carry them over to the edge. Or you're going to want that signature kit for those big hits. None of those things are really working for Vecina here. He's not able to just like D-Light Nair into the Nair juggle or anything like that. Meanwhile, Taya's catching landings. He's keeping these strings going. He's putting out a lot of pressure with all the range that he brings to the table with Orb, and he's hitting his signatures as well. So it seems like all across the board, Taya is just outclassing Vecina.
We go again, another situation where you get to open
Yep.
into a double recovery, and just like that, you're down to your final stock. It's looking really rough for Vecina here, trying to make the comeback happen. Gonna need a reverse 3-0 to go ahead and persist.
Okay.
I do not know that I think it's gonna happen.
There's nothing that Vecina has showed us so far, at least specifically in this set, that would make me to believe that he's got it in him to finish it off here. Especially if he goes in deep with a ground pound like that. Highly telegraphed. Now, Taya didn't have a weapon. He was playing at weapon disadvantage, so he wasn't able to do anything crazy there. Nice GC and Sig to get that cannonball right over the corner in arcing fashion. There's the side light, but it set up the edge guard. There's the turnaround side air from Taya. The recovery under the stage, bonking the head, hold up. All of a sudden, it feels like now Taya's the one getting a little too big for his britches, and all of a sudden he bonks his head, falls, and we're on even stock.
I don't even know how to feel about this, because like, it still wasn't something that I really feel like Vecina made happen.
Yeah, no, 100% agree.
Like, Taya just kind of getting maybe a little too comfy. You know, sometimes that's fine, right? Like, it's been a long day of work. You hop into your bed with your pajamas on, and you get cozy. That's when you know you finished your work for the day. Now, I think you get a little bit early for that, right? Like, you got to make sure it's the right time. And at this
You got to make
point,
sure you locked your office before you left and went home. That's
you got to clock out.
Yeah, you get all cozy, you're like, oh no, my timesheet. And then there is the ground pound, and there is the weapon toss, and it's just like that. Taya is going to take it over Vecina. That is PR 13 from EU going up against PR 25 from Vecina. Unfortunately, that is Vecina in the elimination side of things. So Vecina's weekend in the 1v1 bracket and in the 2v2 bracket technically as well is now over, but still a very solid BCX journey that we saw from Vecina. Definitely.
We are seeing Akno not on the Diana, but on the Devil Jin here, so we still have that bow coming out though.
Yeah, big weekend for Zariel. I mean, Zariel, he is just not going anywhere in this meta, both in twos and in ones. But everybody, this is game one. This is an EU-NA matchup. Let's see what is going to happen here. Is it going to be the projected Akno dub, or is it going to be Wade potentially with a huge upset? Akno committing to that D-Sig for daily life. D-Light, Sarah's going to be coming through as well. Akno has so much momentum.
He's been hit twice. Okay, make that 3 times. Akno doing incredibly well so far on this first stock, and he charges that down sig up a second time, getting a little bit of a temperature check on Raid there. What he's going to do against it. Akno can be charging those up for as long as he has.
But you know what? Even though he got punished for it each time, he hasn't gotten like that harshly punished. Like those D6, those could KO. And he's like, oh, okay, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit me with a downer into nothing? The end light is gonna be enough to KO. Ulgrim off the top. Oh my gosh, Akno had piled on some serious damage. But yeah, Akno, I don't think he's been intimidated away from using that bow D6 to be able to go through that kind of a spike. So let's see what he does. GC end light, nicely done. Neutral recovery. Akno, oh my god, that is a lot of damage.
A lot of damage indeed. The GCN light didn't connect there, but he didn't need it either. Okay, able to get him off stage with that Sair. Raid gets back up with that Nair though. Nicely played on this Lance.
Oh, the end light, that's going to be a huge punish potential for Raid. Akno is just going to be able to successfully spot dodge past the charge recovery. Had Raid held onto it a little bit longer, we could have seen a different story. Weapon toss, oh my gosh, gravity cancel breakdance. That's a crazy option, but that was so good.
Yeah, Raid sticking to the axe now. Akno scrambling to find any kind of opening. We're seeing a lot of whiffs from both of these players, I feel like. If either one of them slows down the game and tries to pick up punishes instead, I feel like that could definitely have a bit of an upper hand, trying to bait out more mistakes, because it feels like both of them are very, very eager right now.
Akno is only looking for one thing, and that's recovery. He's going to try and get stacked on top of Raid, but Raid, oh my gosh, that did almost no knockback. Oh, is he going to be able to make it back on? He should have gone maybe for the down
nice
ground pound if he wanted to go through the chase dodge, but yeah, that was just such a difficult position for him.
Yeah, very, very nicely played off stage there by Akno. Now able to get that quick combo. Throw him off stage with that Sair. Tries to starve him out of his options. He's having a hard time getting back to the stage right now, Dora, and he's down into orange already. Nice gravity cancel option as well by Akno, and he is just pressing buttons right now.
Yeah, and it's all connecting while he's not getting punished enough on some of his whiffs. Blade, he's going for the weapon throw. He has the stage control. What's he going to do? He gives up the stage. He goes for the downing, but Acno was up a little bit too high. Tries to go for the GC D-Sig. Unsuccessfully, the N-Sig, the D-Sig, and Acno has not been punished. Nobody has put him in his place. Acno is such a funny play because when he thinks, hey, I'm going to win this game, or I'm going to win this set, he's just going to keep doing the same thing until it works. That is how confident he is in himself, in his own ability. A little bit arrogant, but in a level